Tuesday, week 2 mobility work. Today, gonna need a roller, pipe, broomstick, whatever it is. It's kind of a straight bar, it's flat. Hopefully you got one smaller for today because there's an adductor smash that we're going to be doing. And we're going to need a couch or a bench or something like that. So, again, start out. We're going to roll our back out a little bit. So, ooh, nice little pop in there. The other thing you're going to want is a chair or a stool or an ottoman or something like that. Wow, it's pretty good pops in the back today. Bring your knees to your chest. Relax. From here, we're going to extend our left leg out. On our right knee to our chest. We're going to go into a spinal twist. So you're going to pull your right knee across your body, extending your right arm out to your side, looking at your right hand. And pull that right knee into your chest, bringing the other one up. We're going to extend our right leg out this time, bringing our left knee to our chest. We're going to pull that across our body into the spinal twist, extending our left arm out, looking at our hand. Remember to breathe during this and all exercises. Again, pull your knees to your chest, a little bit more rolling. We're going to sit up, get started on that mobility work. So, the first exercise we're going to do, again, our 2-minute timer. We're going to use a roller, stick, whatever it is that you have access to. We're going to do what's called the adductor smash. So you're going to go, tilt this a little bit so you can see it a little better. We're going to go on the inside of our leg. And when I say this might hurt, this might hurt. There's 2 ways that you can do this. If you have a foam roller, we can lay on the ground and do it that way. So I'll show you that method when we do the other side. And it's going to look kind of funny, but it works. So here we go. 2 minutes. Let's get it rolling. You want to try to go up and down the inside of your leg. Like I say, this might be painful because it's an area none of us tend to work on much. And depending on what kind of knee problems you may or may not have, you might find that it's a real tender up near the knee area. So you may end up working that area a little bit more. Wow. And again, like other mobility exercises, when you find an area that's tender, work it. Make sure you breathe. So depending on what kind of exercising you're doing, it could be more sore or more tender, however you want to look at it, than you are during some of the other mobility exercises. We got about 30 seconds. And again, you should not be just casually rolling up and down your leg like the cat's rubbing against the couch or something. You should be leaning into it a little bit, putting a little pressure on it. There should be a little pressure there. You should feel not pain, but discomfort, I guess, is a nice way of wording it. Okay, getting ready to switch sides. So I told you I would show you how to use the foam roller if you have access to a foam roller to do this side. This is going to look really funny, so bear with me. So you're going to put the foam roller there, and then we're going to start. And you're basically going to roll that foam roller back and forth. Like I say, if you find a painful spot, work back and forth over it. Okay, so I personally like the other roller way better, so I'm going to hop back to that. You can do whichever one works best for you. Oh, man. And apparently, this side, kind of painful. That's not surprising. I compensate on this side of my body quite a bit for the bad knee I have. And any of you that have any kind of problems with any of body parts, you'll know that your body will compensate to try to keep you out of pain. What we're trying to do is get everything back where it's supposed to be. That's one problem with rehab, is that it's enough to get you back and going and out the door, because insurance is only going to pay for so much. Whereas you're not really where you need to be or where you should be when you leave there. There's a lot more things to get you there. This is part of those routines to get you there. Mother. Like I say, find a spot, work it. Usually those of us that have bad knees, when we do this one, it's right there by the knee, and then it's back up inside the hip there at the top. Again, it's where the muscles connecting with the tendons. That's usually where the most soreness is. That's also where we're working on increasing their range of motion. A lot of people tend to exercise and shorten up those range of motions. And we're done. All righty. That was a good one. So for the next two exercises, we're going to use the couch. So the first one's called the hip capsule mob. And this is for people with bad hips. So we're going to take our foot. We're going to flatten her out on there. And then we're going to go for 2 minutes. We're trying to get a 90 degree, if we can. If you have a bench, this works a lot better on a bench because there's not the cushions given. Your hands aren't dropping inside the cushions. Again, 90 degrees, stretching out. Or if you can, you're going to try to eventually get to where you're dropping down. And then I'll usually lean in. Try to get different angles of stretches on that hip. Then stand back tall. And again, try to keep that at 90. If it slips out of the way at any time, do that. Now, if you can't, and I should have addressed this earlier, if you can't get your hip down here, use cushions, pillows, whatever it is to prop your knee up higher, that when you're up here, you prop it up higher so that you can get what range you've got and start working on getting that range of motion down. So again, hop back and forth between the two spots if you need to, if the pressure's too much. If you're not, you just stay up here. And gonna switch to the other side. Again, if you need to prop that hip up, use the roller to hop it up there. Use pillows to prop it up. Again, 90 degrees is what we're after. Stretching out. As you can see from this view, you can see that my hip is opening up. That's what we're after. Again, if you can't get your knee flat, prop it up with some pillows, a roller, whatever you have access to, because some people, their hip's only going to go to here. That's all they got. So in order to try to get some range of motion, we put something under that they can kind of push against so that they don't go too far and injure themselves. Again, for those of you that are flexible, drop that rear knee to the floor and sit up high. Like I say again, you can twist. I'll twist into it so I get a little different stretch. Sometimes I'll lean into it. As you can see, you can really see how my hip is opening up on this. Back tall again. That's too much. Get yourself back up here. You may spend the whole 2 minutes up here. You may spend the whole 2 minutes up here, but you're trying to get 2 minutes. If you can't, do what you can. Just remember it so the next time we do the hip flexor stretch, that you can get a little bit more range, a little bit more time. We have about 20 seconds. And we're done. So, for those of you that are curious, I'm going to show you on a chair real quick so that you can see how that hip is supposed to be flat. So, this is what you're looking for when we're doing a hip flexor stretch. And maybe you use a chair if you've got one that's stable enough. Okay, so our third and final mobility exercise kind of involves using this chair because it's the couch stretch. And if you've never done a couch stretch before, it kind of sucks. So, we're going to use the couch. You're going to take your knee, you're going to get it to the base of the couch. So you're going to try to get your knee up and flat against the couch, a wall if you'd like, you can use. And then we're going to take this other knee, try to straighten it out. You're going to sit back. This is where the chair comes in, trying to keep that knee flat against the wall. You don't want an angle. You don't want a gap between here if you can help it, because that takes away from the stretch. So, again, we're going to do this. We're going to sit up, and we're going to go for 2 minutes. So this is where this chair comes in, because you can use it to kind of get yourself to sit higher up and get more stretch out of that. And again, trying to keep that knee as close to the back of that couch as possible. And some of you might have to stretch it like this because there's no range of motion there. And that's fine. Do what range you got. You don't want it to be comfortable, but you don't want it to hurt either. So, for those of you that are a little more flexible, you're going to take that couch stretch. You're going to take this front foot and you're going to go forward like this. So what you're trying to do is eventually get to the point where you can sit straight up like this. But if you're having issues, again, use this chair. And as you can see, I use that chair to try to keep everything bouncing straight, because when you don't have enough flexibility, what you're going to find is you're going to end up, as you sit there without the chair, you're going to start feeling a little bit of tweaking in your low back. We don't want that, because you're going to be twisting to one side more as you make up for that openness that you have going there. So again, use a chair, a step. You can use the top of a roller if you need to, whatever it is, to try to stabilize yourself. If you have the range of motion and flexibility, and you can sit straight up, without putting additional pressure in your low back area. Do that. We got about 30 seconds still. Relax. The idea is we're trying to increase that range of motion here, so relax. Nice deep breaths. I probably don't say that enough, but that is definitely one thing you want to do. And we're going to switch to the other side now. So, on the other side, same thing. Get that knee in down tight to the couch. And then we're going to sit yourself up, back it up. And again, check that time, 2 minutes. Now, just like every other exercise, some sides are more flexible than others. Once your flexibility builds, you can move quicker into bringing that front leg up. So for those of you that are just starting and don't have that flexibility through the quad, the hip flexor, in the knee area, stay away from this one until you get it. But what you're looking for is to eventually try to get this. And then you'll end up, the couch is moving a little bit on me, so I got to keep adjusting my knee. But anyways, you want to keep your knee down there flat, so you're basically trying to keep it against the couch like this. And hopefully eventually you can get your butt to touch your foot. And some of this flexibility, and for those of you that have lower body issues, especially knees, depending on what kind of exercising you do will determine how much range of motion you might have on that day. So on days where you're doing box jumps, for instance, the range of motion tends to be a little less the next day than it is for other exercises. So keep that in mind as you're doing this stuff, that sometimes what your exercise routines are doing might determine what range of motion you may have that next day, just from swelling, inflammation. About 15 seconds. And we're done. And that is Tuesday, week 2, mobility routine. Thank you. Have a great day.